Fisk unit. Fisk unit. Alright, look. Hit that like button, hit the sub button, and hit the notification bell. You understand me? Subscribe to my channel, join this Fisk unit army, and get Fisk unit tough. Okay? I'm sick and tired of the Jaylin Hyatt slander. He ain't been a Giant for a month yet, and I'm already tired. Now, I got a question for everybody listening to this video right now. I got a question for you. I want you to put the weed down, put your Xbox controller down, tell your girl to get off your lap. Whatever it is you're doing, put your sandwich down, okay? Ask yourself this. How many routes does Tyreek Hill run? Ask yourself that. How many routes did Randy Moss run? I want to know. These are the questions that Big Fist want to know. How many routes did Deshaun Jackson run? How many routes? Because everybody's making a spectacle of, oh, he's not a route runner. He's not a polished route runner. He can't run a lot of routes, and he's not going to get open and create separation in the NFL. Huh? I don't comprehend. You know what I'm saying? You're speaking another language. I don't understand. Me don't understand. Because in the NFL, it's about athleticism. It's about explosiveness. It's about getting it done. It's about beating the man in front of you. And I want to know how many people are going to stay in front of Jaylin Hyatt. How many people? How many corners in the NFL are going to have the balls to man up and press him? How many corners in the NFL? How many defensive coordinators in the NFL are going to have the balls to not give him 7 to 10 yards of space at the line of scrimmage? How many? You see, there's more than one way to skin a cat. You understand me? There's more than one way to catch a body. There really is. You know, sometimes Roy DeMayo, you know what I'm saying? Roy DeMayo had a crew. And he had the Gemini Lounge. All right. And in the Gemini Lounge, you would get walked in, you'd get shot in the head, and you'd get stabbed in your chest to make sure the blood didn't go everywhere. Then they'd hang you upside down, eat some pizza, chop you up, and throw you somewhere. It was called the Gemini method. That's how Roy DeMayo caught his bodies. You feel me? He was an efficient killer. You know who else in the mafia was an efficient killer? There was this guy by the name of Abe Kid Twist Rellis. He strangled people. He worked for Murder Inc. He got the job done. You know what I'm saying? You know who else was an efficient killer? There was this guy named Tony Accardo, the big tuna, Tony Batters. He got his name because he beat you to death with a baseball bat. You know what all three of these killers have in common? You ended up dead. You got whacked. It didn't matter if you got walked into a room and caught 2 in the head. It didn't matter if you got strangled from the back of the freaking car. And it didn't matter if he went Babe Ruth on your head 50,000 times until he couldn't recognize your face. The end result is you got bodied. So I don't give a damn if Jaylin Hyatt is smoking you on an out route, a post route. I don't care if he's catching a drag route or a flat route like he did versus Alabama, that beautiful game versus Alabama. As long as he's scoring touchdowns and putting points on the board, it doesn't matter what routes he's running. It doesn't matter if he could run the route tree and all this other, this freaking football nerd talk that everybody's going around trying to slander him with. Get the job done. It does not matter how you do it. You have an objective. You have one job. I don't care how you go about doing it as long as you do it. T.O. ran the route tree. T.O. would catch slants. He stiff-armed people. He scored touchdowns. T.O. would catch end zone fades. T.O. would also run the 9 route. T.O. had multiple ways of scoring, but he scored. You know how Randy Moss scored? End zone fades and go routes. That's all he did. He's in the Hall of Fame. You feel me? Who ran more intermediate routes than Reggie Wayne? Reggie Wayne was the king of intermediate routes. You want to talk about running the route tree? He's in the Hall of Fame. Steve Smith was a great yards after the catch receiver. A lot of stuff at the line of scrimmage. Even though he could get downfield, he still ended up in the Hall of Fame. Those are 4 different, completely different wide receivers. They all ended up in the Hall of Fame. Is DeAndre Hopkins catch a lot of separation? When's the last time you heard somebody say, wow, that boy DeAndre Hopkins, he gets a lot of separation. Watch out for him. He's not Devontae Adams. Devontae Adams gets separation. He's the route runner. DeAndre Hopkins is the physical guy, the yards after the catch guy. That's the guy he is. You know who the burner is? Tyreek Hill. 3 completely different receivers. And aren't those the top 3 receivers in the league? So why all of a sudden does Jaylin Hyatt have to run the route tree in order to be good? He doesn't have to go out here and run routes like Marvin Harrison in 2005 in order to be good. He doesn't have to do that. And that's why I get frustrated is when they pick and choose who to praise and who not to praise. Then the Cowboys who told Jaylin Hyatt to his face that he's only good for one thing. Remember the video of them telling Jaylin Hyatt that, yo, you can't run the route. You can't run the route tree. Know who you are. Know what you are. You think he gonna forget that when he played the Cowboys twice a year? I'm going on a limb and I'm saying it now. He is going to be a Cowboy killer twice a year. I'm calling it. I think he's gonna take that personal. Did you see the way he answered the questions from the New York media at the rookie camp earlier this week about the route running? He doesn't like it. It bothers him. And I love that it bothers him because that's going to fuel him to be better. You feel me? But at the end of the day, didn't the Cowboys draft somebody named like Jalen Tolbert or something like that last year, who was supposed to be the next big slot receiver in Dallas? They got rid of Amari Cooper because they drafted this guy. They drafted some receiver who was supposed to be nice, and he ends up being a bust. Whatever happened to that guy named Jalen Reagor in Philly? How'd that work out? Whatever happened to Antonio Golden Gandy or whatever in Washington, who they blame? Oh, we stole that guy from the Giants. The Giants wanted AGG, but we took him. How'd that turn out? So all you fans out here in the NFC East that laugh at the Giants and talk about the Giants picks, how about you look in the mirror and look at your own bust? How about you do that? Because the Eagles busted so many times on wide receivers, they had to go get A.J. Brown. Don't even get me started on Todd Pinkston and Freddie Mitchell in the McNabb days. The Eagles never have good receivers unless they go buy them. Washington, shut up. I've told you 1,000 times, you're not allowed at the grown folks' table. You sit over there, you eat with the children. And if you keep running your mouth, I'm going to throw you outside with the dogs. In Dallas, please, stop. Just stop. Stop it. Yeah. When's the last time Dallas drafted a route runner? This is what kills me about the Cowboys. They have the balls to criticize Jaylin Hyatt's route running. Dez wasn't a route runner. Can Dez Bryant run the route tree? We could get an 85 DeLorean right now and go back to 2014 when him and Romo was popping. Did Dez Bryant run the route tree? No, I didn't think so. CeeDee Lamb run the route tree, little slot receiver. Shout out to A.J. Brown for calling him out on that. He's a slot receiver. Don't compare CeeDee Lamb to outside X receivers. He's a slot guy. How many times is CeeDee Lamb out here routing people like that? He's a physical slot receiver who takes advantage of his size in the slot against smaller corners. The only route runners I've seen on Dallas the last 20 years came via a trade or free agency. That would be T.O. and Amari Cooper. So how dare a Cowboy fan talk about a route runner or somebody on the Cowboys coaching staff talk about running routes when you don't draft route runners your damn self? So you should know all about it. At the end of the day, people, it's more Giant slander. They hate us because they ain't us. They're scared of what's coming. They fear what's coming. The whole NFC East is scared of us. They won't admit it, but they're scared. They just watched Daniel Jones go to the second round of the playoffs, throwing the filth. Okay? Now he's got a lot of shiny new toys with a lot of speed to work with next year. It's going to get scary. The nervous Giants fans, they're scared of us. They are scared of us. Because if they weren't, why would they talk about us? Think about it for a second. Normally, it's Cowboy fans arguing with Eagle fans, right? Why all of a sudden Giants keep getting brought up in these discussions? Why Eagle fans got Giants fans in their mouth now? Why do Cowboy fans engage Giants fans? I thought it was just the Eagles and the Cowboys and nobody else existed. Yeah, if we didn't matter, if they weren't scared, our names wouldn't be in their mouth. Simple as that. But anyway, that's it. That's all. Subscribe to the unit if you rocking with me. My name is Fist Vegas, and I approve this message.